Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well, and in this video I'm talking about a big double penalty that's been applied to an F1 driver following the Canadian Grand Prix, as well as Lewis Hamilton not wanting to give title pointers to Kimi Antonelli. So let's start with this double penalty. Now the start of the Canadian Grand Prix was delayed, with there being 3 formation laps before the race got underway. Now Nico Hülkenberg started the Grand Prix in 11th, while Liam Lawson started from 12th, and Hülkenberg was slow to pull away from the grid on the third occasion, with the Audi being overtaken by the Racing Bull's car of Lawson, and the pair remained in the incorrect order for the remainder of the formation lap, including the crucial safety car line 1, before returning to their correct grid positions for the race start. Now under F1's rules, drivers are given a mandatory stop and go penalty for failing to reassume their correct starting position by the time they reach SC1 unless they proceed to return to the pit lane, and this was investigated following the Canadian Grand Prix. However, the stewards decided that it was not worth giving Hülkenberg the full penalty, and instead they gave Hülkenberg a suspended stop and go penalty, and he was also given an official reprimand, with the stewards' verdict saying this was an unusual incident. Car 27 Nico Hülkenberg was slower than could be reasonably expected, starting from its grid position for what would be a third formation lap. Car 30 started sooner than expected and should have waited longer for car 27 to start. During the formation lap, the driver of car 27 claimed he was unable to safely pass car 30 to regain the correct position. However, despite the cars being in the incorrect order when crossing the SC1 line, the start was not required to be delayed, no disruption to the grid was required, and there was no impact on the competition. Both cars started the race from the correct position. The regulations stipulate a mandatory stop and go penalty for a car that does not enter the pit lane if it's failed to resume its correct position by SC1. However, in view of the above mitigating circumstances, the stewards considered this penalty to be extremely harsh and not proportionate to a breach that was relatively minor in effect and impact. Accordingly, the stop and go penalty is suspended using the authority vested in the stewards under ISC Article 12.4.6. Meanwhile, Lawson was just given a reprimand for his failure to start the formation lap in the correct order. Now make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my Formula 1 content and are kept up to date with F1 news. I've just reached 51,000 subscribers, and all your support means so much to me. Thank you so much for it. So let's move on to Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli. Now 2025 was Antonelli's first full year in Formula 1, and successful and experienced drivers like Lewis Hamilton would have been there to support Antonelli, especially when he was going through that difficult European season last year. However, things are much different this year. Antonelli is no longer a rookie, he's in the fastest car, he's gone on to win 4 races in a row, and he currently leads the World Championship by 43 points over his teammate George Russell. Now, following the Canadian Grand Prix, 7-time champion Hamilton was asked what advice he would offer to Antonelli over the title battle. And in response, Hamilton said, as quoted by GP Blog, "I think you forget that we're competitors. He's already doing a great job. I'm not going to give him any more pointers." Now, Hamilton's first full year in Formula 1 was in 2007 with McLaren, and in Hamilton's rookie year, he fought for the world title and came very close to winning it. And he went on to compare that situation at McLaren with the environment Antonelli is now in at Mercedes under Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff, with Hamilton going on to say, "I think just for me personally, 2007 was the one I was fighting for. It was a lot. I was a little bit older than you. I was 22. I think things were different back then. I don't think I had the same support system that he has, for example, today in a place that I worked at and worked in. Toto did a great job of surrounding you with the right support, and I definitely didn't feel that. The team were nice and everything, but there wasn't the right elements around to support you, to help you stay stable and guide you, and it was pretty intense, especially in my first year, but I wouldn't change it for the world." But that's going to be the video from me. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.